I'm George. Welcome to the channel. That was a little piece of the Comfortably Numb solo. What I want you to listen for were the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, the little triplets in pattern. Because if you know your pentatonic scale, and we're starting at the 7th fret on the index finger, you know that the bottom two strings are fingers 1 and 4. And you know the next three strings are fingers 1 and 3. And the top string is always the same as the bottom, so it's got to be 1 and 4. And what Gilmore did was he did a little triplet pattern. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Another great example of that was Great White's Rock Me. Slide that a little bit. So that's at the 2nd fret, the F sharp minor. Another great example, Great White's House of Broken Love, and that's the A minor, so it's index finger on the 5th fret. It's oh, how's it go? Okay, on that solo I used the triplets. You heard the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, you know, the... So that's the pattern, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, with some breaks and holds. And I'm going to show you how that works on paper. Okay, so what we're looking at here is my Circle of Fifths app. How to tune a guitar, and the 5 shapes of the pentatonic scale, this being on the 12th fret, this being open, and why all this. So let's start with tuning a guitar. And I think by now, if most people know, if you go to the 5th fret on the E string, it's the open A below it. They're the same. When you go to the 5th fret on the A string, it tunes to the open D. When you go to the 5th fret on the D string, it tunes to an open G. But when you go to the 5th fret on the G string, it does not tune to a B. You got to go down to the 4th fret. If you wanted the pattern to continue, the 5th fret on the G string is a C. So you would have to tune the B string up to a C. If you tune the B string up to a C, that no longer works. If you would now have to tune the E string up to an F. So these strings, bottom two strings, would then be C and F. If we look at our Circle of Fifths, and you can download this on the Android or on the iPhone, it's really cool. Okay. Top string is the E string. Underneath your E string is your A string. Underneath your A string is your D string. Underneath your D is your G. And as I just demonstrated on the tuning, it would go C and then F if we kept that 5th fret open string pattern going. So why isn't it like that when we tune it? And by the way, Pythagoras figured this out, and there's a reason our guitar is tuned this way. And we shifted the bottom two strings of the guitar in order to make chord playing a lot easier. Can you imagine playing bar chords with those strings shifted? Or a lot of the open chords wouldn't work. We're not all jazz musicians. Now, how does this work with the shapes of the pentatonic scale? So your open is the same as your 12th fret, right? Using the G major, E minor, pattern is 2 strings are 1 and 4. fingers 1 and 4. And in this pattern, it's the bottom two. The next 3 strings are fingers 1 and 3, and that is the pattern, because your bottom string here is the same as your top string. Has to be 1 and 4 here. So on the other side of the 12th fret, your 2 strings are 3 and 4 with the fingers 1 and 4 pattern, right? And I marked it in red. Your next strings, 1 and 3, 1 and 3. Now, I know that it's really 2 and 4, but for ease of use, that's what I'm going to say, 1 and 3. Your top string is the same as your bottom string, so the next string in the pattern is 1 and 3. Confusing? I know. There's no break in the pattern on strings 2 and 3, but when you get to this side, now notice these are the 10th fret and then the 9th, so these are the 10th fret and the 9th. They're just going down the neck. Your strings with fingers 1 and 4 here are on strings 5 and 6. Your next 2 fingers, next 3 strings in the pattern are 1 and 3, 1 and 3, but there's a shift here on strings 2 and 3, and it's because of the shift here. So it's still fingers 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. Your low E string has to be the same as your top, okay? So it's not hard to understand. Your next one, so all 7s in the 8, all 7s in the 8. Fingers 1 and 4 now go on strings 2 and 3, and 2 and 3 has that shift pattern. So it's 5 and 8, you're 1 and 4. Then you got to slide it down 1, and then the next 3 strings in a row are all 1 and 3. This string has to be the same as this string. So that's why there's the shift in the pattern there. That's why there's a shift here. The next string, and this is really the last shape in it, where fingers 1 and 4 are on strings 4 and 5. Each set of strings on the guitar has there's 2 strings where there's strings 1, where your fingers 1 and 4. In any case, so you got 1 and 4, 1 and 4. Down underneath it, you got the 1 and 3, but then there's the shift in the tuning in between these 2 strings and 1 and 3, 1 and 3. So when you understand that there's a shift in 2 and 3, these patterns begin to make a lot more sense. Now, I'm not saying you're going to have them all memorized in a week, and you're going to know them in every key and in not going to happen. But if you're playing a song in B minor that you really like and you want to solo over top of it, you can start practicing working on different shapes, and this will help it make sense to you. And then, if you're playing with a band and they want to say, hey, we're playing the song in A minor. Okay, well, now you can prepare and figure out where it is. There are all kinds of resources all over the internet where you can, download the pages, buy a music book. But that's the simple explanation of why the pentatonic scale works the way it does. Wrong side. So when you're practicing, remember, don't just do the 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Do the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Have fun with it. Download some backing tracks, get a looper, play some basic slow blues riffs. But the pentatonic scale, there's 5 positions between the nut and the 12th fret. And then they start over after the 12th fret. So you can take A minor and play it up and down the neck, top to bottom. And it's a really fun thing to do. If you got anything out of this video at all, please hit like and subscribe. I really appreciate you watching. My name's George. Have a great day. Rock on. That was cheesy. I'm sorry.